Hello. You probably know what I'm gonna say already, but I'm pregnant! What are you holding?
Just getting prepared over here. Just some casual literature.
Just some light reading to prepare. I didn't really know how to start this video, but we're having a baby in December. I have so much to tell you guys. I have been lying, omitting information.
Lots of lying.
I haven't really been lying. I've just been holding back a lot of information that we knew of, but we wanted to wait until we were out of the first trimester before we shared this. So at the point at which you're watching this video, we are in the second trimester, but at the point at which we're filming this video, we are still in the first trimester. I'm about 9 or 10 weeks today. I did make a video last week where I mentioned that we're moving. I told you all the reasons we're moving. You know, Michael needs a legitimate office space that he can work in, plus we want a quieter neighborhood, plus we're getting another bedroom. So we are looking for a 3-bedroom.
What do we need the other bedroom for?
So that is our plan right now. I have so much to tell you. Michael's got to work, and fortunately this is my work. So I'm gonna take you into the other room and fill you in. Yay!
Take care of the little one.
I'll hold on tight. All right, welcome to the bedroom. Okay, so quickly before I get into all of the excitement and the joy, I wanna call out that I completely understand that this trying to conceive journey and the whole pregnancy journey is a very tough one and is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, particularly those of us who are struggling to get pregnant or have been trying for a really long time or have experienced pregnancy loss. And I wanna call out at the start of this video that if anyone's watching this and it's just not the right time for you to be watching a video of someone who just got pregnant, please navigate away now. I completely understand if this is not the video for you. I have loads of other videos on my channel unrelated to this, so I don't want to trigger anyone here. I only want people to watch this video who it's going to make them feel positive and excited. I don't want this to hurt anyone or make anyone else feel stressed in their own situation. So please do what's appropriate for you based on where you are in your journey. I don't even know where to start. I have another video that's gonna be coming out in a couple of weeks that will be more of a detailed story of our journey from the moment Michael and I decided we were ready to have a baby to now. This video is not that. This video is just a little announcement. I just wanted to share the news with you as soon as I could. So I knew that once the first trimester was over, that's when you're technically allowed to tell people. Personally, I would have told the public way sooner. I told pretty much all my friends and family in the first trimester, and I just felt like I couldn't really wait to tell people. I understand a lot of people like to keep the news inside because the first trimester you have the highest risk of miscarrying, so a lot of people don't like to share it until they have passed the first trimester or when they've gotten past some of the testing and they feel better about things. But I am the kind of person who, especially with my family but also with many friends, I really wanted to be able to share every step of this journey with people, especially girlfriends and women in my life. I really wanted this information to be in the hands of the people who love me the most, so that if something were to happen, I wanted the most support that I possibly could have. Also, I felt like something that I learned from hearing about previous people who were pregnant, a lot of people say that the first trimester is just the most lonely because you feel the worst and you can't tell anyone. I just sort of had this brain blast the day I found out I was pregnant, where I was like, why would I bring loneliness onto myself when it doesn't have to be a lonely time? I don't have to be holding in a secret if I don't want to be, if it doesn't feel right for me. And so it definitely didn't feel right to keep the information just to myself. So I told a lot of friends and family pretty early on, and really loved the fact that I was able to have so much excitement and so many conversations happening already, even when things were still uncertain. And the truth is, things are always uncertain. Like, even when you get past the first trimester, even when you have a baby, things are uncertain. So I felt like I just wanted my friends and family to be there. I wanted them to know how excited we were and what we were going through, and that was just my personal approach. I have so much to tell you, I don't even know where to start. So the first thing I want to say is that I've been a little bit MIA on Instagram because I have just felt so unwell. I've had a very rough first trimester thus far. In terms of nausea and throwing up, before getting pregnant, I think I could count on my 2 hands the amount of times in my life that I threw up. And every time, every memory I have of throwing up was like the most unpleasant experience. I hate throwing up. So entering into this time period where I probably spent multiple times a day sitting over the toilet, heaving, that was a really big change for me. I'm currently still in the thick of it. If I'm in the bathroom not feeling well, I have occasionally turned my phone on to record videos of me sitting in front of the toilet so that I could really share the raw behind the scenes of what's going on with you. Most of the time I turned the camera on, I guess I wasn't really feeling at my worst, so I would just gag a couple times, but there were 1 or 2 times when it really turned into a full-on throw up situation while I was filming. So I did capture that for you. I'm not gonna put sound on it because I don't think anyone wants to hear that. Most of what happens when I go to the bathroom is I feel like I'm gonna throw up and I sit there, my mouth starts watering, like saliva is being produced, and I just am uncontrollably spitting to get the saliva out. It is just like this all day nausea. I don't know why it's called morning sickness. It's not just in the morning. Most of my throw-ups have happened at night, actually. It is just the most uncomfortable feeling. I've had a couple of moments of just sobbing to Michael, and it's this weird feeling of being so incredibly grateful that you're pregnant, especially because, oh, I didn't mention, we were trying to get pregnant. I'm feeling every day so incredibly grateful to be pregnant, but at the same time feeling like a complete I don't know when the pregnancy glow is gonna come on. As of right now, I feel completely broken out. Like, if you get a close-up look at my face, I'll show you. I did put some concealer on, so I don't know if you can see anything, but I have a lot of small bumps and on my forehead. Just basically, I don't know. I put some cover up on for this video to look presentable, but I don't look presentable most of the time. My skin is at its worst, my physical body feels at its worst, so I don't feel like I'm glowing yet. People say once you get to the second trimester, I don't know, maybe like between 14 and 20 weeks, you start to feel like yourself again. So let's hope. I feel like a disheveled version of myself who is afraid to leave the house because if I go out, I might get sick on the street, and that's scary. So that's kind of where I'm at with the nausea. Some other bodily changes, some other things I've been feeling throughout this time. One huge one is that I am just so hungry all the time. I don't think I've ever thought about food so much in my whole life than I have in the past couple months, but I am just pretty much starving at all times simultaneously while being incredibly nauseous, which is just the most unfortunate combination. And I find actually that the nausea is highly related to the hunger. So I try my best to not ever have a completely empty stomach. I'm pretty much eating small grazing snacks throughout the entire day. And actually this Tupperware lives next to my bed. Clearly there's not that many pretzels left, but this Tupperware is usually filled to the brim with these gluten-free pretzels, and I eat these pretzels first thing lying in bed before I move in the morning. I also eat them right before bed, before I go to sleep, and sometimes I've woken up and had them in the middle of the night. I do have a few gluten-free crackers, like plain crackers, that have also been useful, but the pretzels are life-changing. But I definitely find that nausea is tied to hunger, so I try my best to have snacks throughout the entire day. So I will eat usually like 3 different types of breakfasts spread out every couple of hours. I'll have hard-boiled egg, I'll have a bowl of cereal, I'll have a gluten-free waffle, and then as we transition into lunchtime, I rarely just like have a lunch and call it a day. It's usually like an apple with peanut butter, and then a string cheese, and then some crackers, and then, I don't know, I went out and got like all these grazing snacks, dried apricots, prunes, grilled cheese sandwiches. I just try to eat as much as I can all day. And that is the only thing that really helps with the nausea. And I start to feel nausea coming on as soon as I get hungry, so I eat again. And that's just kind of stressful because I have been trying to just keep doing my work, but I feel like all I can think about is food, and all I can think about is what I'm eating next and if it's ready and prepared. So that's what's going on. I've been to the doctor a few times now since finding out. My doctor was really, really kind to let me come in pretty much right away the day I found out I was pregnant, where I guess I was 4 weeks. I think I actually found out before 4 weeks, and she let me come in for a blood test, and then since then I've been back for 2 ultrasounds. I have some photos for you that I can share here of the first ultrasound that showed, just that there was a little something in there, and by the second ultrasound it had grown so much, and the baby already at that point had hands and feet, or like paddles. I don't know if it has fingers yet, but just like you can see little hands and feet. At that point, the tail is gone. So like in the first few weeks it has a tail, and then the tail disappears and it's forming hands and feet. So you can see that. We also were able to hear the heartbeat at that ultrasound appointment, which was so exciting. Beautiful. At the time at which this video goes live, when I'm in the second trimester, we will know the sex. Right now, we don't know. We both have sort of an inkling as to what it is, and we both think it's the same thing. Who knows? I will let you know a little bit later on what the sex is. First, I'm curious what your thoughts are. And one thing I want to share is that when we first found out that I was pregnant, I did some research into, how big is my baby right now, and when you are 4 weeks pregnant, which is technically just 2 weeks after you've conceived, people say that your baby is the size of a poppy seed at that point. So from that day forward, we started calling the baby Poppy, and that is what we call it. So as of right now, I don't know the sex. I know Poppy sounds like it's a girl, but we just call it Poppy. So if it's a boy or girl, it's Poppy. That's not gonna be the name. We have to get Michael on board to name it Poppy first, but I personally think that's the cutest name, and we just call it Poppy right now. So this is Poppy. I think so many people who have had a baby have stories of what they called their baby in the womb. I know my mom called my brother Rice Head because he was the size of a grain of rice at the point at which she thought about it. But for us, it's been Poppy since day one, and all of our friends and family call it Poppy too. Anyway, I'm so excited to share more with you. I did my best to record some footage along the trying to conceive journey.
New York, we're trying! Woo!
Because I did have an incredibly long cycle. It took me a really long time to determine when I ovulated. So I was recording footage of myself along the journey, just keeping you posted on where we were at. I ovulated again, and it took total from day 1 of my period. It took me to day 29 before ovulation, but I was testing every day starting at day 7. So you can imagine how many ovulation tests I went through. It's about 1 a.m. I just came out of the bedroom because I cannot sleep at all, because I am confident that a fertilized embryo is implanting itself in my uterus as I speak. I do plan on, in the next video, including some of that footage, to tell more of a whole story of how we got from, the day we wanted to try to the day I got pregnant. So I have so much to share. Please stay tuned and come back. I wanted to let you know that because of the way I've been feeling, and also just because of the whole pregnancy at large, I am planning to slow down my YouTube posting cadence, so I will probably be posting every other week from here on out. It's possible that I will pop in with surprise videos every so often, but I just want to make sure I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to have a weekly YouTube video, especially when your body is just needing some rest. I've also been filming the way my body looks in the same outfit at different points throughout the pregnancy, so hopefully at the very end we'll be able to make a really cool video using that footage, just showing the growth journey. Right now, even at 9-10 weeks, I'm not really showing that much. I can show you in the mirror. I don't know. I feel very bloated. I feel like I'm showing, like this to me feels like showing, but to the average person, I look very normal. It feels very tender. That's about it. My boobs are growing, which is very exciting. They're also very sore, so I'm trying not to touch them too hard. And yeah, that's where we are at right now. Anyway, thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm gonna get back to reading this book right now. This book has been really, really helpful for anyone who has any sort of anxiety or stress over pregnancy and like not knowing what to do and not knowing if you're going to do something that's going to hurt the baby, I would highly recommend this book. I definitely was one of those people who, the moment I found out I was pregnant, had kind of like a minor freak out and threw out a lot of my skincare items and body care items and just like got so afraid of everything I was using and eating. And thankfully, my gynecologist is very calm and centered and research-based, and she like kind of calmed my fears about everything that I was freaking out about. But also this book does a really good job at just putting fears at bay and helping you like dissect the actual information that's out there so that you can really know what is dangerous and what is not proven to be dangerous at all. And that's just given me peace of mind, calmed me down a lot, would highly recommend for any anxious people out there. So that's it. I'm just so beyond excited about this whole journey. Even though I'm currently in this time period of not feeling great, I am so grateful to be in this position. I keep saying to Michael, even through the nausea, I'm just so grateful to be nauseous. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that we have a baby on the way. I have always wanted to be a mom. I have always had an obsession with babies and kids. I'm the youngest of three. Obviously I'm a twin, but I'm 1 minute younger than Allie, so I was always the baby of the family. And I always begged my parents to have a younger sibling because that was all I wanted, was to take care of a little child. They wouldn't do it for me, so I had to have my own. All I've ever wanted was to have a little thing that relied on me, that I could take care of and nurture. And anytime my friends had little siblings, I was always the person that wanted to play with the little siblings, even when they were like, ew, no, get them away. I was always like, I want to hold them, I want to play with them, I want to be, you know, a surrogate big sister to them. And so I'm just so excited. I actually remember a video on my YouTube channel from I think 2015 or 2016. It's one of my earliest videos on this channel where I'm sharing all the ways that I stay positive. And one of the things I said was that I try to remember that I have so much excitement coming up in the future and that I'm gonna be a mom one day. Actually, letting yourself be excited about what's coming in the future. Sometimes I just sit and I think about all the amazing things that haven't happened yet that are going to happen. All of my friends' weddings. I'm gonna have a baby one day. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a mom. And it's kind of a full circle moment to reshare that on my channel today in 2021 when I now actually have a baby on the way. So I think it's so exciting and I'm just so beyond ecstatic about the fact that I'm gonna get to share this journey with you. I know I have a lot of young followers out there who maybe are nowhere near having kids or maybe don't wanna have kids, but I just hope that my journey can be exciting and inspiring and entertaining to you in some way. So I'm really excited to bring you along on as much of this as I can. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Stay tuned for my next video. There will be a lot more info and I have videos of telling our friends and family. I have so much good stuff to share with you. So please come back in my next few videos and see you soon. Say goodbye to Poppy. Bye. Poppy, say goodbye to YouTube. Bye.
Pregnant. Pregnant? My sister's pregnant.
No, you're not.
It was on me!
It's April Fool's. You liar! You said 3-4 years?
Oh, Lucy, are you pregnant? Are you kidding me?
What?
Congratulations!